At long last, here's a tutorial on how to build SPARKZILLA. So many people have been asking about this for so long, so we finally had to do it. You're gonna start with this as the base. This is from just the original big Sparky bot. And we kind of have a tutorial video, sort of. It's just like the raw footage of building this on the channel already, but basically it's just a bunch of red plates stacked on top of each other. This is built sideways with black tiles at the top and then like a red border around, so you can kind of frame it in there that way. And I'm not sure if this was on the original or not. I don't think the top was, but basically we just have some brackets. We took this apart and fitted that in there. The reason I don't want to do it is really hard to take plates apart, and so I don't really want to do it, especially since that tutorial exists out there. And then the bottom, this may have already had this, but we use this kind of bracket. So it has that anti-stud at the bottom. This has the studs on the top, where we can place a chair, some jumper plates, and switches to control the mech. This chair is obviously for whoever wants to pilot the robot. In this case, the robot repair tech. So on the bottom here with these anti-stud brackets, you're gonna have some Technic plates and lock that in there with some other plates. And these are the pieces that you're gonna need for one of the legs. So you're gonna need two of each of these kind of pieces. You can pause the video and go find these pieces in your own collection. We'll start with one of these radio dishes, adding this cone piece on top. We build up from that with two 2x2 bricks. Lots of twos there, and have another 1x2 plate on top to have this bracket behind. This one I don't think is entirely necessary. We had these for, we could move the mech with clear sticks. So I guess you could replace this with just like a 2x2 plate if you wanted to. But then we're gonna have another 2x2 brick on top. I'm kind of looking at the other leg for reference here. What do we have? We have some Technic shenanigans going on. This is probably the most difficult part about the mech, the legs here. So we're gonna have this Technic pin in here. It's not entirely necessary, but it helps lock in the support a little bit better so it can stand up on its own. We have this inverted Technic beam plate or whatever, I don't know the exact terms of pieces and stuff. A 4-long pole, which we can attach these small dish pieces on either side. This gives this iconic like knee joint side things, but the front of it's kind of ugly, so we need to cover it up with another bracket. We pop that on there on top, and it doesn't cover it up all the way. If I can, you can't squeeze these, I guess, too tight. You have to get everything in between beforehand. And we have another 1x2 plate to cover that up. And then to fill this gap, we have a 2x4 plate in front of that. And you can decorate it with your plate of choice or tile of choice. This is like a really cool 2x2 round tile with a hole in it with a really cool print. You might not have that, and that's okay. You can just do whatever with that. You have another 2x2 brick on top of that. This is kind of like a rounded dome piece. It's not too common. But then another Technic beam plate on top, and I think that's a leg. If you want the knees naturally bending a little bit, it might make it a little easier to stand up. You can put a 1x2 plates on the bottom of that cover up here, and then it kind of has that angle naturally. And then we take this Technic pin, pop it into the side, bam, and then we take that and connect it to the hub of the base. So there we go. That's one of the legs, and then you would mirror that placement on the other side. Kind of like that. And it's kind of goofy looking without arms, so we should get that sorted. You'll need these pieces for each arm, but the hand attachments are a little bit different, so I'll show those separately. It's really just a matter of using mixel joint pieces and decorating them with jumpers and cheese slopes, which we can use this connector to put it on the back of the mech, locking in with this inverted curved slope piece. The claw arm is actually made using these pieces from the old Toy Story trash dump set. That's where you get 4 of these from. They're probably in other sets, but they all connect to this central hub thing here. How do they do that? They all have a bar in there that they go clip. It's really kind of cool how this piece works. They have little grooves and stuff that catch together, so they all like move together. I don't know how to describe it. But then we have this rubber band, and I don't think this is an official rubber band. This might be like a rainbow loom back in the day. Those black, or they came in all sorts of colors, but Lego rubber bands are normally white, and that really stood out against the black here, so we just used an unofficial piece. Sorry. And then we have this mixel piece to connect in there, and that's what we can connect it to the arm with, just like that. This is optional. And for the other arm, you're gonna need 4 pieces. The obvious one being this blade. You might not have something like this, so you could replace it with like a shield or another weapon or some sort of thing. I don't know. But then you have this kind of contraption, so we have that mixel ball joint on the end, which obviously connects to the arm. And there you have it. That is how you build SPARKZILLA. Sorry this took so long.